with us this morning for a few minutes. IP, good morning and welcome to Sunrise Breakfast.
Good morning, comrade. Good morning, comrade Mbasela. Although he failed to answer that question, good morning.
I have answered. I've said it's not a good morning.
More of the explanation to that, but again, it's like he's contradicting to what we're told by our provincial minister, that when you look at Lusaka today, if you were in Lusaka 5 years ago, you'd get lost because it's like Los Angeles as we speak today, So I don't know why he was belaboring, trying to explain issues. So good morning, SM.
All right, thank you very much, IP. If you're just joining us, you are through to the Sunrise Breakfast Show. Now, this Sunrise Breakfast Show comes to you daily, and we do have the Boys Edition on Saturday and the Gospel Edition on Sunday. Same time, 7 to 9 hours. Do make a date always. We're available on the platforms Movie TV, the Decoder, Channel 1, but as well available on Topstar Channel 104. We're also available on the MTN Plus app, and on that platform we have a bouquet of channels. We are also available on Facebook via our page Ask Movie TV, and are live as well on YouTube via our channel there, Ask Movie TV. So follow us in the conversation by commenting if you're watching us via social media in the comment section, or you can call in on the number 0978 594 682. And if you're watching us from outside the country, outside Africa or within Africa, you just add a +260 at the start of that number. So 0978 594 682. That's the line that should be calling when the phone lines are open for you to add your voice. This morning, police raid Kalimanshi's Chawama barracks. Now, Kalimanshi is self-acclaimed commander, national commander, and he says, according to him, his Patriotic Front. The Patriotic Front, however, have disowned Kalimanshi. His barracks was raided. His soldiers, were arrested, but they couldn't find the general. He fled and is on the run. So we're going to be talking about that story. We do have a video of him, saying everything that is being done to him now is because of a particular individual, a minister. We're going to be looking at that story. But also, a 48-year-old South African man has committed suicide in unknown circumstances. We're going to be looking at that story as well. EIZ orders Ali King Carter Bridge to be demolished. This bridge is the bridge which Minister Wara found himself in problems for. PS Wara, found himself in problems with his minister for commenting on a project that is not under his ministry. He said it was a death trap. The minister said that he couldn't comment on that particular subject matter because it was not under his ministry. Awesome. So we're going to be looking at that as well. The EIZ have ordered that be demolished, advised that it be demolished. Flooding due to heavy rains is normal, says Uncle Bowman. Pondela begins last term of office after 22 years as ZAR president. We are expecting to have the new ZAR president in studio this morning. So do make sure that you stay tuned to Movie Television and follow through the conversation that we're going to be having with the new ZAR president. We won't be drawn into unsubstantiated political allegations. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has responded to Archbishop Emeritus Telesfo Mpundu's remarks. Only waste management from now to 2nd January, that says ZESCO. President Lungu, First Lady, on working holiday in Eastern Zambia. Police LCC NAB 24 for possession of illegal weapons and drugs. Those are some of the stories that we get to look at this morning, but also we get to look at what is happening in the world of sport. Juventus. Damn you, Juventus. They lost their first game yesterday.
Yeah, Juventus losing their first game this season by 3-0.
At home.
At home. But, however, it's 10-man Juventus losing to Fiorentina. Yes.
There was a red card in the first half.
It's football. There are 3 possible results. There's a win, a draw, or a lose. So they got one of those.
Interesting. Now, police in Lusaka have raided the premises of Patriotic Front PF's self-proclaimed member, Innocent Kalimanshi, and have confiscated various Monday evening in Lusaka's Chawama compound. Meanwhile, about 20 people were apprehended on site. They are believed to be working with Kalimanshi. This was after police were tipped about the harassing of innocent citizens in an area. And Minister of Home Affairs Stephen Kampyongo has asked Chawama residents to remain patient, saying their peace will soon be restored. Let's have a look at this story. On the other side, we give comment.
Early hours of Tuesday, 22nd December 2020, around 01 a.m., Zambia police conducted a joint operation with the Lusaka City Council, during which assortment of offensive weapons were recovered. And police spokesperson Esther Mwatakatongo has disclosed that 24 suspects were picked, including illegal drugs were recovered during the process.
For members of the public in Chawama and surrounding compounds on a rise in criminal activities, which had culminated in 2 breaches of public peace, blockage of main roads such as Chifundo Road, harassing and attacking, also assaulting of innocent members of the public. It is suspected that the said structure was harboring criminals behind a set of criminal activities experienced in the area and the surrounding areas. Those arrested are detained in police custody, yet to be charged for being found in possession of offensive weapons, and will further be handed over to the Drug Enforcement Commission for drug-related offenses.
And Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo has emphasized that Chawama being a place where criminality seems to be on the rise. The minister has assured the people that soon peace and order will be restored in that area. He says police will not tolerate anyone who will be found on the wrong side of the law, be it those in power or outside.
Areas peacefully. And so we have taken note of that, and police have been informed. We had a meeting with the leadership in Chawama constituency and the district from the Patriotic Front to find out who was behind that lawlessness which seems to be taking place in Chawama. But I want to assure you, and through you, the people of Chawama, that very soon sanity will be restored and the order will be restored in Chawama.
Musole Mugara reporting for Movie TV in Lusaka.
All right, so that's Minister Kampyongo assuring residents of Chawama that sanity will soon be restored. There hasn't been sanity in Chawama because of Kalimanshi and his people, according to the minister.
So it requires for a minister to make a statement. Police can't just handle it. You need first to make a statement. I don't know. For me, I think it's way below the minister. I think it can be handled by, police themselves, and we move on. I don't think that it should take the entire minister to make a statement about this. I don't know.
What do you know?
What I know is that there's some sort of standoff between Kalimanshi and Mr. Kampyongo. And maybe that is why the minister felt compelled to make a statement, because the person in question, if you want to say it like that, is a person of interest. So otherwise, I think, it should have just been police handling this.
Innocent Piri.
Yeah. To start with, I think, allow me just to mention a few things here, because I went to cover that press briefing, and I'm sure I can ably explain what transpired and at what point the minister came in to respond to such issues of Kalimanshi and the likes. All right. Just to start on that point, that the minister came in, was responding to questions from the media, from the press.
Okay.
All right. Not that he himself that was away from that agenda.
All right.
Okay. The press briefing that was called by the minister, I want to believe it was the issue of UPND leader who is appearing before police today. Okay. And that was a statement, actually, reacting to say we are aware as Home Affairs, as police, about the so-called alleged maneuvers that the UPND are making, and also they are intimidating the police from carrying their own duties. So we want to ensure that we are well updated of what will happen tomorrow, and we are going to be on hand to receive anyone that is going to misbehave. That was basically the genesis of the whole story. And of course, it was during question and answer that, of course, reporters attempted to ask question about issues of Kalimanshi and the raid that transpired in Chawama, on account that, of course, there is the police under there, but is the man in charge of the police. So people wanted to get the true picture from the big boss himself of the police. So that was actually his response with that regard. But again, I think it's important that you need to admit that indeed there seem to be some outstanding issues between Innocent Kalimanshi as well as the minister. It's very much imperative, like I was mentioned, all right? But if you ask me to comment on this issue in a very objective manner, as I'm going to do, because I've been actually yearning to comment about this issue from the time we began to, analyzing it here. And allow me to explain this issue, is that for me, really, I'm not against my brother, Innocent Kalimanshi, whom I share the name with, all right? But again, is different, because for me, I don't entertain the lawlessness that he really is being accused of, all right? What I'm trying to say here, SN, is the point of whereby you've seen the conduct of that man when he was in the Patriotic Front. First of all, he's been known to be a person of a bad character, according to what people have labeled him, a violent person. This is the name that has been given to him before he was in the Patriotic Front. Again, when he left to go to the UPND, that lawlessness continued on his side. And if you play that video, he is confessing to say, I went to the UPND not for politics, but I went there for Lubuli, in Bemba. I went there to fight to beat those people that had a grudge within the Patriotic Front when I was in the Patriotic Front.
He said you went there to avenge. He felt that he had been attacked by some people from the Patriotic Front.
Exactly.
So he needed another camp.
Exactly, So all in all, you can describe that as a violent, spirit that is in him. Okay? Whether you are going to use, jargons here or whatever, but the bottom line is that he's a person that, of course, according to what the public has been saying, that is a violent person, of course he is. And let's call such a person as such. It's very much imperative. I've mentioned that I've got nothing, I've got no difference with him. He's my brother, he's my older brother. We share the same name. But when you are a wrong person, I think let's begin to condemn such. Okay? I'll take you again. The issue of which he has with him and perhaps Honorable Stephen Kampyongo, what are the differences here? All right? Because as far as I know, we know that Honorable Kampyongo is the chairperson for security in the Patriotic Front. All right? And whether you like it or not, is in charge to provide sanity in the Patriotic Front. Whether you like it or not. If at all there are some hidden issues that we have never heard as a media, yes, let them be there. But where discipline is concerned, I think is the person in charge, away from Kelvin Sampa. If at all there are hidden issues that they have, the two of them, away from the issues, those are their own issues. But for me, I want us to handle this issue in a very objective manner, and a very honest manner, and very straight. Okay? I want to give another example. Kausa has got children here. All right? You've got children as well. How would you feel, comrade, where you've got a child and then who doesn't want to respect your wife? You've got a child, maybe it's your last born child, or maybe second born child, who says, I can't respect my mother, who is your wife, Mr. Mbasela. I can't respect my older brother, who is IP there. I can't respect my older sister. The only person I respect is Mr. Nkonjera, who is my father. Me, I'm here to protect Mr. Nkonjera, my father. How do you feel really to have such kind of a child in a house?
We have...
respect should be trickled, comrade, to each and every member of the house. And that's what the Honorable Camping has been saying.
The information that we have managed to gather so far in the various interviews that we have had with both parties, Mr. Kampiongo as well as Mr. Kalimanshi, is that there definitely is, you know, a rift between the two.
Yes.
But also, it is seeming that the rift is also being sponsored.
Yes.
Yeah. There's also a rift between the Patriotic Front cadres. So there are these leaders within the Patriotic Front that are pulling the strings. Yeah. So Kalimanshi is not acting in his own capacity. Neither is the other camp of cadres acting in their own capacity.
Exactly.
But
there you are very much right.
These leaders are the ones that are sort of pulling these strings, making these cadres do what they're doing.
And I hear, like what you are saying, I also hear that part of, you know, the people that are sponsoring Kalimanshi are found at State House, among them, you know, meaning there are some big guys that are supporting the behavior of Kalimanshi, all right? And that's why for me, I did emphasize to say, look, for me, I don't care if there are some hidden agendas that are there. You understand? But for me, I need to, let's condemn what we see in the public domain. And what message is coming from Kalimanshi? What message and what kind of language is coming from that Kalimanshi guy? What message is coming from Honorable Kampion? Those are the issues for me we need to digress here.
I will want to label Kalimanshi as violent if I see him be violent. I will. How
would you define violence?
You will say he issued violent remarks to say he confessed to a crime. Yeah. So I went to ABCT because I wanted to avenge ABCT. And he said that he avenged and he right?
What is violence?
So
it could be in verbal words.
Yes. So I will,
and you read the language of him.
So I will attach those remarks to his behavior. But for me, I don't think such behavior should be condoned in any place. Number one. But also, I think the biggest problem that we are having is a challenge of leadership, because the leadership in the party is using its youth, its cadres, to fight its battles.
Yes.
Yeah. And Kalimanshi is just a pawn. He's not the real, problem. He's being
let's
used.
Accept here, isn't that? Of course, a crisis is there in the Patriotic Front. All right. And I want to believe that in democracy, you expect such to happen in each and every organization. You understand?
What to happen?
Confusion should be there. You should see people fighting in every organization. Because we've got people with different, ambitions. We've got people with different, should I say, beliefs. So it is just there. You are, even here at Movie TV, we do differ. You are aware.
So you're saying...
You understand? Because we can't have one belief. The same things which is in other political parties like the UPND. We have seen them fighting.
I want to understand.
You have seen you saw that in Narep a few months ago.
What is the wrong in what is happening? If it is
So
not
the
wrong,
wrong here,
if there's nothing wrong, then why are we having this
exactly,
conversation?
comrade, for me, the wrong here is in the way, of course, that I think I'll go back to Kalimanshi. I don't want to belabor law to explain the issue. I think his behavior really, for me, is questionable.
What has he done?
I'm not a person that is going to sit on TV and pretending for the sake of...
Innocent,
What
let
has
me
he
tell you
done?
something. When you talk about objectivity, you shouldn't even have commented on this matter. You shouldn't have
on what
commented
grounds?
on the grounds of your relationship with the Stephen Kampiong.
Yes.
What you should talk about is, if you are objective, what is it that Kalimanshi has with Stephen Kampiong? You cannot
This
be
is
hold
the
on.
problem
You
we
cannot
have
be
in this country.
You cannot be objective.
I can challenge you.
You cannot
Jason,
be
to say,
objective.
can you receive 10 phone
You
calls
see,
here?
you are not
and
listening.
Wait a bit.
You are not
receive
listening.
10
So you
phone
don't
calls
want to
yesterday,
listen.
and you hear
don't
if
want to
there will
listen.
be
Give him an
any
opportunity.
of the people that are going to support the
going to be
behavior of
told-
that
No, no,
young man.
Give him an opportunity.
The
Forget about
problem
relationship.
is-
You and I have got a
The
relationship.
No,
problem
wait.
is
Give
this.
him an
Understand?
opportunity.
The
Then
problem
we'll
is
get
this.
back to you.
There is an outstanding issue. Do you understand
What is that
the
outstanding issue?
Exactly.
Tell us now.
Exactly. Do
Yes.
you understand what the outstanding
Maybe
issue
me,
is?
I don't understand. I've told
Exactly.
you what I do understand.
So, if
now
there's
you
an
tell us what is
outstanding
there.
issue, you see, he's belaboring to
You tell us what
he's
is there.
belaboring to defend the friend. Chill.
You remove friendship.
No.
We are
This
on
is
official duty
me
here.
talking. This is me. You had your time.
Yes.
And you've given your
So
opinion.
remove friendship.
Stop
In the end, you bring
answering.
my wife
Stop
here,
answering to what
which
I'm
I will not
saying.
allow.
Only.
So remove friendship.
Stop
Let's deal with
answering to the issue
professional
of
issues
me
here.
giving you advice.
Yes.
You will not get the advice if you want to keep
Okay,
talking
let me
on this
listen.
particular matter. If you say that you're objective, bring this side.
Yes.
Understand this side.
Yes.
Bring this side. Understand this side. Bring what the issue is. There's the Kalimanshi, who, for all intents and purposes, has rebelled against somebody in the party structures. Who is the person that is in charge of, as you said, disciplining these people? And you've elaborately told us, number one, the press briefing was about, you've belabored to tell us what this issue is all about. Number two, you are telling us that this person is indisciplined because he's disrespecting the elders. But what have the elders done that the child should disrespect? That is what the matter is. Not necessarily the individuals. Forget the
It is what is
individuals.
happening now.
Forget the
What the others
individuals.
have done, it is the
Forget
arresting
the
or the
individuals.
raiding of his premise.
Listen, forget the individuals. Understand what the matter is. Because one person is both a party leader and a government representative.
Yeah.
The other one is just somebody who is not even a party leader. He's a self-imposed
Member.
national commander whom the party has disowned. And yet this is a person who's continuing to do things under the name of the party. The police have gone to arrest him. Okay? Let them arrest him. Let them take him to court. Let the courts try him, and he will be found either innocent or guilty. But what is the issue?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I want to hear.
Now, you will hear that people like Kennedy Kamba are talking about, you know, how people within the party are going into constituencies, right, where they are members of parliament, and these people are beginning to campaign. It should tell you that this is not just an innocent Kalimanshi against Stephen Kampiong matter. It is a PF people against PF people issue. Because you cannot, as the party, get to a point where now you are issuing threats against your own members to say, if you want to go into a constituency to stand as member of parliament, beware that you might be bruised. Okay? Because people are expressing interest and things are taking long. What must be seen here is the fact that within the party, there is a lot of confusion. Because the younger people are seemingly doing things that the older people are not accepting. So this is not a one innocent Kalimanshi against Stephen Kampiong matter. No. It is beyond the two individuals. There is a rift within the party. What may be seen is the fact that perhaps in this particular matter, the face of the rift from one camp is Innocent Kalimanshi. And the face of the rift from the other camp is Stephen Kampiong, not the two individuals. Forget the two individuals, throw them away. Understand what the problem is. Once you understand what the problem is, you will know what is going on. So don't necessarily focus on just the individual. You are a person that works in a newsroom. When you work in a newsroom, you understand matters build from somewhere. And when they are building from somewhere, you understand what has happened, why it has happened, when it has happened, where it has happened from, who is behind it, and how it is happening. Once you understand all of those things, then you have a story.
Right.
And then
Fantastic.
that said,
Yeah?
still on the issue of objectivity, if I were you, being objective, I would have said, I declare interest. Because there's an interest that you have.
Well, fantastic. I've challenged you with SN to say, I can say, let's receive even 10 phone calls. We hear if any reasonable viewer is going to call and support the behavior of Kalimanshi.
I am not,
You
you
understand
are
that?
not listening.
No,
I am not
no, I've
supporting,
listened.
I am not supporting anyone.
Because-
What I am saying is this. What is it that we must understand
Yes.
about this rift?
Yes.
You understand? I am not defending
Uh-huh.
or supporting anyone. I do not have the time to do that. What I have time for
You know,
are the facts.
The mistake,
Are
Comrade
the
Kausa
facts.
here, you know what we make in this country? As a media, I want, sorry to mention that, I think we have also partly contributed to the challenges, the problem that this country has, because we want to analyze issues using a sympathetic side to say because this person is loved by the people, this person suffered a lot and the likes. That's how even in 2015 we made that mistake by
By
bringing
doing what?
President Edgar Lungu. I want to mention that to say
You are saying
I want to say this. So ECL came in power because of a sympathetic vote, without people really critically thinking as
Okay.
to what potential he has. And that's what people want to do
I
about
will ask-
Kalimanshi.
I will ask a few
Let's
questions.
not sympathize with somebody.
no one is
or-
sympathizing.
That's what is going on.
Innocent
No one
Kausa.
is
Me, I can assure you
sympathizing.
that's
Thank
what
you
is
very
going
much
on.
for
No one
your
is
for your
sympathizing.
Today somebody is going to
with
say, don't
the
attack, for example,
Kalimanshi.
if UPND
No one.
has made a mistake,
Let me
don't
ask-
attack
let
them
me-
because
let me
they
ask-
are a
let me
people's
ask- let me ask
political
a few
party.
questions,
No, no,
IP.
let's be straight and
Let me ask a few
call
questions.
a spade.
Innocent.
That's my character.
Innocent Piri. I don't know why you've decided to comment on this particular story because you've always stayed away from it. It's just today, I don't know what has happened.
He was at
you've
the press
chosen-
briefing yesterday.
You've chosen not
And
to.
He was
and
given
I
his
think
time.
I've
No,
done
no, wait.
so.
You've
I think
chosen.
I've done
given
better.
his
chosen not to.
He's now,
Innocent.
he's now
Go on,
offloading
defend
what he believes in.
You've
here.
chosen not
You
to
understand?
comment on this story.
So listen,
He
For
was
reasons
at
best known
the
to
reason
yourself.
why
But,
is that
but now listen.
even from yesterday,
Yes.
people are saying he called Stephen Kampiong called for a press briefing to address Kalimanshi.
But
You
here is the
understand?
issue,
So
IP.
I said, no, I think this is
IP, here is the-
misleading the
here-
nation.
Why do you feel the
You
need? Why do you feel the
understand?
need to defend that?
Here-
No, look.
No.
Do you
The
know
question.
that misleading the country?
Why do you feel the need
Here is the
to
issue.
defend that?
Because look, if I was a person that covered that press
Innocent.
briefing,
Innocent.
I should be here to clarify.
Here is the
It's
issue.
important.
Here is the issue.
We see.
Than sitting here and
Our
then
eyes
we
are open.
collectively,
This 2021 we are getting into.
begin to mislead the
Our
people
eyes
about
are
the
open.
truth.
IP,
Our eyes are open.
I will ask a few questions. Number one, what has been said about Kalimanshi or about Honorable Kampiongo on this platform that is not true today?
About it?
About Kalimanshi,
Uh-huh.
that is not true, or about Honorable Kampiongo, that is not true.
You know me, what I've said here, and I've been saying it. Even tomorrow I'll say the same things, because I'm very consistent in whatever I say. And I don't easily bend because of the majority. All right? The issue here, for me, I did mention that if there are differences, which Honorable Kampiong has with Kalimanshi, those
nothing,
are other issues.
So
but again,
nothing has been said
no.
that is
What
wrong.
I've condemned here is the behavior, the bad character, the bad language coming from my older brother by the name of Innocent Kalimanshi.
Okay, so let's do
That's
this.
what the issue
Let's
is.
do this.
And let's not promote that.
Let's do this. So this is how the
We know that, of course,
this-
Honorable Kampiong,
Innocent,
he's got
this
his
is how
own
the-
issues
this is
as
how the
well.
conversation is
He's a
going.
man that doesn't speak when he wants to speak to you. When you see him, you just see that bitter weight or warning to
Innocent,
you.
this is how we're going to do it. We're going to, number one,
Yeah.
analyze the real problem.
Yes.
What is the real problem?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Number two, we're going to analyze the persons involved in the real problem.
Yes.
Be it Honorable Kampyongo, number two, Kalimanshi,
yeah.
Mr. Kalimanshi, or Innocent Kalimanshi. Yeah? So what is the real problem? Before we start looking at the individuals, what is the real problem in this particular
Let me tell you now. The real problem here is this. SN, I want to begin by saying, even you, if you are going to turn your business premise or your house into a so-called barrack, all right? By the way, I speak with passion here because I'm also a former Chawama resident. Chawama has been known to be a peaceful area. You understand? And then, what is it that from nowhere we begin to receive issues of people being attacked by a group which is suspected to be members of the Patriotic Front, led by the same person we are discussing here? So for me, I'm also looking at caring for the masses of my people in Chawama.
When was that barrack formed?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. When
why?
Tony came yesterday, actually even, was it 2 weeks ago, people were attacked. People
Have you seen the barracks yourself?
My people went there yesterday. Yeah, so I can say, yes, we have seen it. All right? So we are looking at the sanity of the country. What is that barrack for? Do you recommend that as you as SN or him as Kausambasela to say that the so-called barrack is important and the people? And the thing that we have found in there, which we've been told that perhaps they are purportedly belonging to him, do we promote that? Is that a country we want to see?
All right.
All right? And these are the people that are claiming to be members of the ruling party in this country. And you want to promote that.
We have very limited time. No one has promoted anything with regard
That's
to...
what the real problem is.
No. The problem is not on the barracks.
No, me, I'm commenting based on what happened yesterday.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. The problem is not on the barrack. What caused the formation of the barrack? It's the acceptance of cadres. The acceptance of cadres by who? The acceptance of cadres by the Patriotic Front, the acceptance of cadres by the United Party for National... Wait for me to finish,
yes.
IP. By the United Party for National Development. And the failure to control these cadres and the weaponization of these cadres. Both cadres from both camps use machetes, they use several weapons, all right?
Yes.
So the problem is not the formation of the barracks. The problem is the weaponization of these cadres, is the failure to control these cadres.
We've talked about the issue of
political
violence, and
because the leadership
has been given to say that there's a problem here, and the main man here to be blamed, it is ECL.
Because the leadership...
he has not provided leadership...
Now here's where the problem is, IP. Here's where the problem is. Because the leadership has failed to take control of the cadres. The cadres have grown so much wings that they can even form barracks. The formation of a barracks is not, it's wrong, it's illegal. If there's any such of a thing, that is illegal, it cannot be tolerated. But the biggest thing is the tolerance for cadres in this country. Cadres are too powerful. Cadres are entering police stations and beating up police officers. Yeah? Cadres who do that are being led to walk scot-free. Alipira 200 kwacha. Yeah? Those are problems. Those are serious problems that this country is facing. So the acceptance of that by the leadership is a serious problem, number one. That is the root cause of all of this, where we are today. Now, if you see cadres take control of police, cadres take control, of almost every institution in this country, you can't be surprised to see that a cadre has got a barracks, because there's a root cause to that particular problem. Cadreism is not... The type of cadreism that is being allowed in this country should not be allowed. Zambia is...
whom should we blame here?
It's the leadership.
It's the leadership and also the happenings at hand here.
It's the leadership.
You understand? The leadership, of course, we have to blame it, and we've been blaming it. And a lot of people have conclud, say, there's a problem with the leadership.
So now, you know where the problem comes? I'm going to be playing a picture of Kalimanshi's story. Because Kalimanshi has defended himself. So I'm going to be playing a picture.
I want you to listen to the language.
Wait.
And you should endorse that language. I want Kausa to endorse that language.
He's a cadre. Such cadres will use that language.
No.
So
whether cadre, not cadre, but the language should be sober.
We're going to play that picture of Kalimanshi and what he had to say. But here is where the problem comes. Because in his allegations, he says that those things are not his. Now, because there's a rift between him
And the minister.
and the minister,
Yeah.
and the minister is in charge of police, you don't know what can happen. Anything can happen. His claims can be legitimate. He's claiming that
Yeah.
those things were
You
planted.
could be right, indeed.
So what if those things were planted? Then are we being fair and objective as a media to criticize such a
Fantastic.
gentleman?
Now, forget about the barrack. Let's now listen to his language. And you should tell me if that language
No. Answer
is
my
sober.
question.
No.
Before we get to
I
the
want
picture.
I want
answer,
to admit
answer
to
my
say
question.
quickly, maybe let's say those machetes, whatever, were not his. You understand
What
that?
if they were
Because
planted?
That's what I'm saying. I want to admit to say, let's imagine that those are not his. Maybe they were planted in his camp. You understand that? Because of the differences they have with the minister. Away from that. Now, in a normal society, let's listen to the language. And you should tell me to say, yes, of course, there's a difference here between Kampiong and whatever, Kalimanshi. But this language, I think we endorse it. In our country.
We're going to play the picture. I think I listened to the picture.
Yeah.
Kalimanshi has been speaking several times.
Yeah.
You know, even when he sings a gospel song, it sounds as though he's, you know.
Even the thieves have sung songs.
Listen, sorry.
Even the thieves have prayed
I
to
think
God.
you listed down questions. What
Yes.
was your first question?
My first question is, what is the real problem?
Did you answer the question of what's the real problem?
I've
Because
told
you
him.
were the first one
I've told
to
him.
respond. Did he
I did.
answer that question?
So when I asked the question on what the real problem is, he says we should look at the language.
No. Oh, you are not listening to me. Don't listen to me to react. Listen to understand me. I said the problem, the real problem here, why I'm commenting on that issue, it is the barrack issue, where it is purportedly...
Okay, that's the real problem. What was
Yes.
the next question?
The next question is, then we get to ask, what is the problem between Honorable Kampiongo and Kalimanshi, and then analyze them individually and how they are portraying themselves to us.
And my response
via
to
the
that
camera eye.
was that we do not know the personal differences they have with those two individuals. All right? But what we should do, comment on here
Is the
It is
behavior.
not the invisible issues here, but the issues we see in public domain. And let's find out who is wrong here.
Okay.
Yes.
Whilst you were speaking, I picked up something. You said that we should blame the leadership.
Of course.
Is Kampiongo part of the leadership?
He is.
So should we blame him?
I mean, he's part of the leadership.
No, my question is, should we blame him?
We can blame him.
Should.
But
No. Please listen.
Yeah.
Should we blame him?
let's blame him.
For what?
Of course, he's part of the leadership that has, of course, tolerated, I should say, tolerated this cadalism. And young people to go to the extent of now start, setting up the so-called barracks or camps.
Okay.
Okay, but again,
Hold on.
bear in
So
mind
we
that there is
blame-
an attempt
we blame-
to stop this
we
this
blame Kampiongo.
nuisance going on.
We also blame
That's why we have seen people
Kalimanshi.
raping these premises.
Right.
Okay, let's
So we
listen
blame-
to him.
So we should not stop that
We blame
have a
attempt.
question
Kampiongo.
for
You
you
are
afterwards.
agreeing that we should blame Kampiongo as well as blame Kalimanshi.
There is again an attempt.
Hold on.
Yes.
Just answer the question that I'm asking.
I have answered.
Don't say what I have not
I
asked.
have answered, comrade.
We should blame Kalimanshi.
Yes.
We should also blame Kampiongo.
Yes.
Because together, one way or the other,
They are wrong.
they've given rise to this issue.
Exactly.
That is the issue that we were trying to get to. Both parties are wrong one way or
Yes,
the other.
exactly.
Now, having said that, what has Kampiongo done wrong? Understand it. What has Kalimanshi done wrong? If both of them are wrong, and you say Kalimanshi is wrong by the fact that he has helped build a garrison or a barrack or whatever it is wrong. But
So now
what is the
we
wrong?
are analyzing
Hold on.
individuals, huh?
Hold on.
Not yet.
Individuals.
So
No,
what is
Not
the
yet.
wrong? What is the wrong now that Kampiongo, as a leader, has done of PF, not as minister?
Yes.
Okay,
Good.
of PF, not as minister.
Yes.
Because there are two things here,
Yes.
and I said them. There's the issue of Kampiongo being a minister.
Yeah.
Okay, and in his ministerial posting, he can instruct because he's in charge of police.
Like
He can
instructing them
instruct
to go and
police
raid that place,
to
which
go
now
to that
people are
particular
sympathizing
place.
to say no, it's an
Okay.
harassment.
To go to that place and do what they are supposed to do. On party lines, This guy is also in charge of mobilization. So where is the disjoint here? When we understand these issues, we'll be able to have a conversation.
Could it be wrong for me to say that Honorable Kampyongo is responsible, number one, for security in the Patriotic Front? And it is because he's responsible for security in the Patriotic Front that he's also responsible for the, activity of the cadres in the particular party when it comes to security, issues.
You can.
If I say that,
Yeah.
is it right also for me to say that because Honorable Kampyongo is in charge of security and has been in charge of security for years, he has, under his eye, watched a rise of another security wing within the Patriotic Front and has failed to control it, and now he's trying to use the powers outside the Patriotic Front security, wing, which is now the powers, which we always said to say Honorable Kampyongo is conflicted to be in charge of Home Affairs because he can use his authority as Home Affairs Minister to instruct the police to settle scores within the Patriotic Front, which should not be the case.
Yeah, I want to answer a question in this way, to say we are aware that in the PF we can't run away from the facts that there's a lot of lawlessness, and where we have seen young people who who go on social media, begin to insult their leaders, insult the citizens and the likes. And the different activists have mentioned to say, look, this was supposed to be stopped from the start. Okay, so, and that wasn't stopped. And remember that Stephen Kampyongo was a Minister of Home Affairs, and even that security aspect of it, it was also under him, meaning that he was in charge of the Youth National Chairperson. Again, he was in charge of security. There were two positions in him, as well as a minister. Okay, so let's admit to say it is true that there was a point whereby he also tolerated that hooliganism that is happening today,
which is trying to quench now.
You understand? Okay. There was a point where he tolerated that behavior to escalate to these levels now. Okay. Now, I'll be quick to mention that when you see that there's a problem here, I think you, as a leader, you need to be magnanimous enough to say we can't let this problem to go on like that. You understand? Because the hooliganism that they tolerated at some point in the Patriotic Front, it is what is now going to affecting innocent citizens like those in Chawama. You understand? Okay. But if one rise up, or the leadership rise up to wanting to stop that, let's not begin to demonize, say, why didn't you stop it in the first place? You can stop it at any time. You understand?
No. Here's one thing, Innocent. Number one, I condemn.
Yeah.
I condemn, and I do not stand with the point. If Kalimanshi has committed an offense, if Kalimanshi has intimidated any Zambian.
I'm waiting for that video because I want to listen to that.
If he has intimidated any Zambian in this country, I condemn that. And if he has committed any offense, let the law take its course. Let him, face the full wrath of the law. It is unacceptable if he has, committed any crime. If Kalimanshi has a barracks and has been storing, equipment or weapons that are illegal, he should be, taken to task for that, by the law, the full wrath of it. All right, that I've got no two ways about. There are no two ways about it. He has to face the full wrath of the law. But then the problem that we are trying to highlight here is that Kalimanshi is not the problem. Because if you sort out the Kalimanshi today and forget to sort out the root cause,
so
there will be another. There will be no.
It's a problem.
If he has committed a crime, he should be dealt with.
Yes,
but
it's not a problem.
He's not the real problem. We
will
sort out.
Problem,
listen,
so?
You will sort out a Kalimanshi today.
Yes.
There will be a Kalimambwa tomorrow.
Yes.
Another person that will just rise. All right.
How do you sort out the problems in our house, comrade?
No.
You sort out problems.
I haven't said that you should not sort out Kalimanshi.
Yes.
What I am telling you is that Kalimanshi is not the real problem.
Yes.
You will sort out Kalimanshi. If he has committed the crime, he will find himself
let's look to the viewers here. Bars. You and Mr. Ambassador, where is the real problem?
The real problem.
Let me tell you where the problem is.
Yeah.
So, first of all, understand this. Kalimanshi is not, I will use two words.
Yeah.
Two words. Listen to the words. Kalimanshi is not the problem. he is part of the problem. Part of a problem. You have a vehicle. Kalimanshi is like a spark plug. Spark plug. And it's problematic. Remove the spark plug.
Replace.
Which is Kalimanshi?
Remove the spark plug.
Yes.
You still have a faulty engine. So spark plug out, replaced. Fan replaced. The engine is problematic. One of the parts also of the problem is the spark plug. So Kalimanshi is just a spark plug. So remove, replace, and work on the rest of the engine. You are not listening.
No, I'm listening.
You are. If you
Kalimanshi
were,
is part of the problem.
yes. If you
Or
were
it's like a
listening,
spark.
if you were
So let's
listening,
remove
In this
the spark.
case,
you are listening,
IP, you
I'm
need to
listening.
change the
if you were
engine.
listening,
He's mixing a lot, so he's confusing himself.
No,
I'm listening.
no,
David is listening to him.
No.
Okay.
So remove the spark plug.
Yes.
Which is part of the problem. You remove the spark plug, put something else there for the vehicle to be able to work properly.
Yeah.
The engine is what is faulty.
Yes.
But amongst all of the faulty things is a spark plug. So when you fix the fan, for example, when you fix the alternator, when you fix the distributor, all the other parts, minus fixing the spark plug, your vehicle will still not move. What I mean is this. Number one, we should not have, you were talking to the Kapeso.
Yeah.
You were talking to him, and he said, imwe PF, don't come close to the president at security.
Yes,
The only security, the person in charge of this security is Kampion within the PF. He has caused a problem that has come close to the police, okay? Such that they are even doing the police's job. It is a problem, a very big problem. That is one of the problems. The buck stops at the leader. The buck stops at the leader. Because no one is going to be pointed at except the person in charge of a particular designation. So in this case, the designation is, Mr. Kampiongo, you are in charge of, first of all, the youths, you did say. Okay, he was, and then now there's Kelvin Sample. Mr. Kampiongo, you are in charge now of security. The security issues within the political parties, you will find everywhere you go, there are PF cadres who are armed. It may not necessarily be firearms, but they are armed. Okay?
Sure.
Why? Somebody somewhere has either slept or was awake.
And let's mention
Blessing
that
it.
they
Hold on. Was either sleeping, that these people should gather all these things, sleeping, or he was awake and actually arming. One of them with whom he has a rift, one of them with whom he has a rift, all of a sudden is being followed, and they are finding machetes and all of these things. You tell me that if we go countrywide and do a sweep, we will not find similar things.
No.
Why is it that...
We'll find them.
Yes. So why is it that in this particular case, right, we have singled out this person? Number one, there's a rift between the two of them. Number two, it is illegal.
Yeah.
Get the bagger, arrest. He should not be doing these things. The UPND with GBM, the police went to GBM's house, and there was a crime called drilling. People were found with machetes and stuff like that. Let us put order in the country. Let us put order both within the PF and outside of it.
Exactly. I think that's where the discussion should border.
That's why it's been bordering all along.
No.
You've
all along,
decided
we've been
not to listen.
We've been sympathizing.
No. We've
That's
been
why I
telling you
mentioned
that
as the
Kalimanshi,
media, we have caused more damage to the country.
it's you innocent that has caused damage.
We are failing
Kalimanshi,
to be as objective
Kalimanshi
or to point out
is,
the wrong
you,
why it is.
The wrong
and
is...
I was mentioning something very important here to say, when you talk about these, machetes, whatever, they are found with almost all the cadres. You understand? And I can make mention here, I did mention my preamble, to say, even when you go to the UPND as well,
But
you find these
do you understand?
machetes
Do you understand?
and the likes.
Do you understand
But
the point that we have been
what
trying
are
to
we saying
belabor?
here? There must be a
Innocent.
man who has
Do you
not
understand?
done his job, and
Do you
that is the
understand
president.
the point that we have been trying to belabor since
Yeah.
we started the program?
I've
That
been following.
Kalimanshi is not the problem. That
No,
is what.
no, no, no.
That is the only
There
thing. we
I refuse.
He's not
That
the problem.
term I think is confusing.
You don't
Kalimanshi
understand it.
is also a problem.
That is true. What
Yes,
you are saying is
not
true.
If you say he is not a problem,
No, no.
it means now you
I
are
haven't
putting
said
him
he's
away.
not a problem.
Then you begin to blame other people or sympathize with other people. No, or sympathize with Kalimanshi. No, he is a problem.
Okay.
And also the leadership is a problem.
When you say Kalimanshi is a problem,
You understand?
when you say Kalimanshi is a problem, I agree.
Yes.
But when I say Kalimanshi is
Is no.
there, is not there, A and there,
Yeah.
Visian. A
Right.
problem is just part of. The problem is the real issue. So the real issue here is the issue Amene Mukamba to say cadarism, whether in PF or outside PF, is wrong.
Yes.
Yeah? The type of cadarism we've allowed in this country is wrong. This is what we have been trying to say since
So
morning.
if the-
But if we sort out a cadre, it doesn't mean that we have sorted out cadarism, the arming of cadres. That is what we are trying to say. Not that Kalimanshi is not a problem. He's a problem.
Yes.
But he's not
And
the
sorting
big
out
problem.
problems for me, you know, if you, sorting out problems for me, it begins with the one step ahead. You
That's-
can start
that's-
with anyone,
That is true.
regardless of how many people follow
That
him
is
or
true.
her.
That is true.
You
so
need to begin
so
from
the
somewhere.
issue should be.
So if we've got a leadership here by the name of Kampiong, who was realized to say, I think what maybe I made those in the past years was wrong. Let me begin to act. Let us not begin to say no. Why starting on on somebody who is part of the problem? No. You can start with anybody.
Listen,
Innocent,
we have not questioned.
Mr. Nkonjera, Innocent, please, let's not waste people's time. No one is saying, why have you started with Kalimanshi?
We have not said that.
No one has said that. And this is why I'm saying you are not listening.
That is in your head, sir.
No one has said
We
that.
have said.
you
So
know,
now listen.
I understand
So
how
now
critical
listen.
this issue is, and
Listen.
you not agree to me,
You will not
or you not
say-
agree with me.
No,
and
it's
it
not
will be
that
difficult for me also to
I'm,
agree with
the
you.
problem. I don't want you to agree with
That's
me.
what I'm saying.
You are saying
don't
things
want
that we have
Yes,
not said
so
on this
listen to
if
what
platform.
I'm
you
saying.
accuse me to say
No,
you
listen.
don't understand.
No.
I don't
Is the picture
understand.
ready for
Because
Kalimanshi?
we have to
We
submit.
have said, innocent Kalimanshi is, and I used words. I was hoping that you would actually get these words. And the reason why is because, number one, you are a media practitioner, a
Which
journal-
does not need to
Hold
sympathize
on.
with anybody, like the way other people have been
Because
doing.
you keep talking,
Yes.
you will not get what I'm saying. You are a media practitioner who is a journalist. And in being a journalist, there's the English language. When you are doing your training, there's the English language. In the English language, there's what you call emphatics. Emphatics. Emphatics are words that you use to emphasize a point. Now listen to these emphatics. A problem. The problem. The, in this case, is bigger than A. Kalimanshi is a problem, a part of a bigger problem. Kalimanshi, in this case, is like a player in the team. So player mu team ngatapanga problem, you substitute the player. But it is not just the player who has a problem, it is the team. The team is losing, so maybe we need to change the coach. So because the coach is not working, you can't say, oh, you play Ndiati Paisa when the coach is failing to train them. In this case, I am telling you that the coach for this team is Kampyongo because he's the head of this particular wing. So, innocent Kalimanshi, yes, is a problem. Get rid of him. Arrest him, try him. If he's found guilty, mponya mundeni.
Like they have done.
Now,
Is to follow him.
now,
and here we
we
sit to
agree.
say,
I'm
then
still
here we
talking.
sit to,
I'm
To say
still
that
talking.
what?
why
I'm
should
still
we talk about
talking.
like a small issue of
So
Kalimanshi?
now,
No.
Calling for a
you
press
have
briefing over Kalimanshi.
Kampyongo.
No.
You
We are
have
missing facts
Kampyongo.
here.
You have Kampyongo at the helm. Kampyongo at the helm, they say, Nsomba iyambira kumutu kuola. The rest of the body here is rotten. So you are not going to miss out the fact that this is rotten.
For the sake
So,
of-
for the sake of peace, Kalimanshi is wrong. Let the police go ahead, arrest him. let the courts try him. If he is found guilty, lock him up. No one is supporting lawlessness. What we are saying is this. Whilst Kalimanshi is wrong, he is only part of the bigger problem.
Yes.
And the bigger problem is being presided on, or is being presided over by
The big minister.
the minister himself, Campion.
Great. I want to imagine if I stand, for example, as I submit on this issue, and then I go on social media, in a Kumubi TV, they support a few wakombe, wa bossy one. You know, she support a one conjera no wakausamba, and tell my bosses one there.
You will find them in society.
It
is wrong.
But, yeah, we'll find them, but
it is wrong.
Do you tolerate that?
It is wrong.
No, you can't.
It is wrong.
You
But
can't.
you will find them. You need to find a way of, as a leader, you need to find a way of, working with everyone.
Yes.
There will be people that will believe in you and people that will not believe in you. So
And
you need
that
to now.
calls for punitive measures.
No. You
Yes.
need to either use some punitive measures to make that person believe in you, or you will need to find what is really wrong that Uyusanga Mvere. We are fighting for the same thing to make Zambia better. But why is it that my youth in my party cannot understand ABCD? So I follow him as a person that is in leadership. I'll follow him and say, Muntwanga, what is the big problem? Where is the big problem? Why can't you and me just agree? Because we are working for the same thing, which is bettering Zambia. So if I feel he's adamant, I'll chase him from the party. If I feel he's adamant, I'll chase him from the party, and it will end. But if I feel I have a way of harmonizing these issues, I will make sure that I make my message known and heard to him. For the sake of my viewers, we need to move on to another topic. We're going to be playing the picture of Kalimanshi immediately it is ready, just so that it is not one-sided, this particular conversation we hear from him and the allegations that he has made thus far. So we're going to be
And you
looking
hear
at
how many people he's got differences with.
Yes, we're going to be looking at that in a little while. But yesterday, gentlemen, the Engineering Institute of Zambia did issue a statement that worried me. And this particular statement is concerning the, Ali Kinkata Bridge. So in this particular statement, the Engineering Institute of Zambia, EIZ, has recommended that the Ali Kinkata flyover bridge be demolished immediately and a new redesigned road section be constructed. Now, EIZ Chief Executive Officer Engineer Linus Chanda says, after engagement with all stakeholders involved in the project, the institution has concluded that the flyover bridge does not meet standard specifications. I hate to be reading this really today because this is a problem. Another problem. Not the real problem, it is just a problem. All right? Now, in this particular story, I think Sorry?
It's a real problem.
No, it's not the real problem. It's just a
Part
of the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are several works that, have found. I'll give you an example of the Society Business Park. I'll give you an example of that water, reservoir in Kasama, recently. All of these are big problems.
The Diwala building.
These are big problems. But there's a bigger problem in all of this. There is no inspection. Now, the flyover bridge is an interesting story because P.S. Wara did say that it is a death trap. His minister did say that, P.S. Wara, shut up, don't comment on things that are not in your department. Yeah? Even if it is a death trap, it is not your job to go there and comment to say it is a death trap. That is the job of the RDA and the ministry under which they fall, which is the Ministry of Works and Supply. So let's have a look at the story. On the other side, we'll give comment to that particular, story.
Has recommended that the controversial Ali Kinkata flyover bridge in Lusaka be demolished immediately and a new redesigned road section should be constructed. EIZ Chief Executive Officer Engineer Linus Chanda says after engagement with all stakeholders involved in the project, its design and construction, the institution has concluded that the flyover bridge does not meet standard specifications and requirements. He says the space where the bridge is being constructed is not enough to meet a well-designed flyover bridge. He adds that the bridge does not address the safety of both pedestrians and motorists, and that the assessments done prior to undertaking the project do not justify in any way the construction of the bridge. Meanwhile, project resident engineer Teres Mukula says he is disappointed that the institution, which he is a member of, would rush to recommend its demolition instead of waiting for the current works being redone to complete, then give an assessment.
I don't think it's necessary to demolish the bridge, and I think the approach maybe which has been taken around this bridge has not been done in a very good way. What I would have expected is first, because I'm a member of EIZ, so there's two sides to me. There's the side where I'm EIZ, because EIZ is a body of, engineers, of which I'm party, and we elect our, leadership every 2 years. And then there's also me as an engineer. I think what could have been done is not to rush to say demolish. What could have been done is see, the issues which have been raised concerning the bridge, to see if they are rectified. And then if the problem is still there, then we can come and say, let's demolish it. Because what we're saying right now is you've built a house, and just because some sockets are not working, some water is not coming out, we're saying demolish the whole house and start from zero, which I think is not a very good approach. I think as engineers, we are taught to sort problems with as minimal cost implication as possible. Because if we say we demolish, it means whatever money has been invested in that bridge.
Since its construction in 2019, the bridge, which is under the Public Pensions Fund, has received comments for and against, both from public and private officers. Virginia Chilongo, Movie TV News, Lusaka.
All right, so that is the flyover bridge, the Ali Kinkata flyover bridge. Really, I need a lemon to discuss this story, because it nauseates me really to discuss something like this. You cannot have this happening in this country. Oh, I'm just speaking too much. Kausa, you go first.
So, there are several issues that go wrong about how we go about doing a lot of the things that are happening. And when you get to a point where a permanent secretary and the minister are differing, first of all, it shows you a disjoint within the running of an institution called government. It tells you that maybe the permanent secretary doesn't understand his jurisdiction, and then the minister publicly scolding him. But then the permanent secretary is then vindicated in the end. It then, goes back to the minister and says, look, maybe you're the one that should have been listening instead. But that put aside, a lot of money is spent on a project like this. And for me, this is a huge embarrassment to my country. And it upsets me that my country is being embarrassed in this way, especially because it is being embarrassed by educated people. There are engineers involved in the construction of such projects.
And millions of dollars have been spent.
Exactly. A lot of money has been spent on, a lot of these projects. You have seen, for example, the Kitwe Ndola dual carriageway. It is done, and then they have to go back to it. And it's like construction of this same project is ongoing for 5 years, despite the fact that the entire stretch was done. But they have to go back and put another layer. Look, we are making fools of ourselves by, exhibiting this to the rest of the world. You are aware that this flyover bridge is right next to the UN offices. And there are a lot of international people people from different countries that work there. And they are seeing this and saying, look, this is what is happening in this particular country. We're a country that is begging to have our debt forgiven. And when we have projects, we do them wrongly and spend so much more money trying to rectify these problems. You understand?
Yes.
So for me, I'm embarrassed, really. I'm embarrassed to be a Zambian, based on the fact that, like I have said, our educated people ridiculing us like this, making us, be ridiculed in the eyes of the right-thinking citizens of the world. Because now the world is a global village. It is on the palm of your hands through a phone. Anybody with internet will see pretty much what's happening anywhere on various social media platforms. So I hate the fact that this is happening, especially, like I said, because it's being done by the so-called educated people who we have entrusted to do things for us.
Innocent Perry, this story is somewhat related to the story we are discussing. I will say this because there are cadres who have been given government contracts. And so the cadre problem, which is the big problem, shows itself in this particular case. I'm not saying that that particular project was given to a cadre, but there are several, projects that cadres, are running. Whether they are qualified to run such projects, I don't know. But what I know is that there are cadres, as confirmed by Max Chongu, that he's the one responsible for drainages, for example, in Kalingalinga, and he's the one responsible for the, what's this road? Nangwenya Road, as well as the Kamloops Road. Those drainages are being done by Max Chongu and his, construction company. Whether he's well qualified to do it, I don't know. But here is the thing. Cadres have come back into the play. And also, such work, like the works that we are seeing, could be, I'm not saying it is, but could be as a result of, just poor workmanship. And that could be because the person that got the particular contract is probably not as trained. Because clearly, this road, the Engineering Institute of Zambia has tried. They've even advised on how this can be done. And I think they came in quite late. They should have come in before the project was done. They said they were not mandated to do so. They proposed that an engineer general position be created so that it makes it easier for them. But it doesn't make sense for us as a country to have to waste money in the manner we have wasted money on that project. Is the contractor going to refund the money to government?
Again, SN, we are back again on another emotional issues. And I want to make mention here as a blunt person in my speech, as I've said, and I'll say it again, to say, let's call a spade as it should be. Let me borrow Kambwili's words to say, let's not call a spade as a spoon. No, let's call a spade, and I'm going to do that. Kausa did mention that he feels embarrassed to be in a country like Zambia because of the mistakes of a few individuals. If we were living in a normal set-up country, like other countries with a lot of morals and integrity, by now, for me, I would have expected Honorable Charles Banda out of government. Not by now, but I should believe that maybe as we speak today, maybe Charles Banda should have been dismissed maybe 6 months ago. All right? Because you remember, Kausa explained the genesis of this issue about the former PS, PS local government rather, okay, Mr. Chomba. He was very much honest to this country and to the motorists of this country to say this bridge was not suitable for the people of Zambia or for the people of Lusaka. Hence, it was supposed to be demolished. What happened? It was an issue, and that story did air, including on a national broadcaster like ZNBC. Anyway, we are also a national broadcaster. All right? It was commissioned. Meaning that they saw that story, it was worthy, and it was a good advocate to the general public, a warning to the general public. What happened? 2 days later, we saw Honorable Charles Banda, local government minister, issuing a statement. What is more interesting about this issue, about that statement, if you ask me, it was the site where Honorable Charles Banda was at that particular moment. He was at State House. Okay? It was, I want to believe that was maybe shortly after having the meeting with his boss, the president, and then he, later on he stood outside and issued a statement to say the comments that Dr. Chomba issued, those were his own opinion. Okay, he was not speaking on behalf of government. So really, and yet that man, he was quoted by all of us in this country to say PS Chomba, not as Chomba in his own capacity, but he was speaking as a permanent secretary, who is also a technocrat, who is supposed to tell us the truth, because we, in as far as I'm concerned, I know that PSs are more qualified, with due respect I have to the ministers, are more qualified than the ministers, are the people that do the actual work than the minister, that a minister will just wake up and go on TV and announce certain data which they don't, or figures they don't even understand. You understand?
Yes, the technocrats.
Okay.
But I
so
feel
really, for me, look, for me, what I'm saying, the man issued that statement, the minister Charles Banda Wallace at State House, and for me, as we speak today, if I was in a country which has morals and high integrity, Charles Banda by today, he was supposed to be out of government for really injuring the people of Zambia. What happened again? It was a few months later, we saw the renovation going on at Linkata Bridge there. You understand? Mean that who was honest there? Who was expressing his own personal opinion there?
okay.
It was Charles Banda himself.
So there's something that we need to put straight.
But I want to answer your question. I think your question is very valid, that we can't ignore it. The issue of poor workmanship. You know, we've heard, of course, and we have seen where some party members of the Patriotic Front, they seem to have more favor to the government when it comes to these contracts. All right? And from what is more painful here, comrade, is that they are given works that borders on the lives of Zambians, majority Zambians. You've got a person like Max Chong here sitting on TV to say, yes, I've got contracts. If you look at, you go to Kalingalinga, most of these drainages, I'm the man in charge. If you go to, is it Arcades, most of those drainages, I'm the man in charge. But you saw what happened yesterday. I mean, 2 days ago. The floods that we had in Kalingalinga. So really, for me, it calls for a government with the, I don't want to say high qualified people. I want to believe that maybe even the people that are there, they are also qualified, but maybe there is too much interference by these cadres. The problem we are talking about, again, it's the same problem again we are talking about, because like, if you see most of these cadres are, supporting blindly, no ECA or no whatever, it's not because they are patriotic to their leader or to their political party. It's because of this contract they are given. But what are the end results? Are these shoddy works we are seeing now about these bridges? And you are also forced now to begin to speculate in your head to say maybe the man that was working on that bridge was not well qualified. You know, that's the debate I have in my mind as well, because a qualified person can't behave in such a manner. And again, we are spending more money, the money which we had spent, again, we're going double to it. It's very shameful to mention.
It is shameful indeed to mention. Anyways, let me allow viewers add their voice to this conversation. We do have more stories to discuss, but I think for the breakfast show, we would end it at discussing maybe just the two, and maybe just adding one more, story. 0978594682 is the number to call if you have to get through, to the breakfast show and add your voice to the conversation that is going on right now in studio. That's the number to call, 0978594682. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Very fine, thank you. How are you?
Okay, I'm calling from Karongo.
The name again?
Mark calling from Karongo.
All right, please go ahead with your contribution, Mark.
Yes, good morning to Innocent.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm okay. Morning, Kausa and St. Louis.
Morning, thank you.
Yeah, my contribution is towards the so-called Kalimanshi Bridge.
Sure.
Because we've come to the realization that most of our educated people, when they go to school, they go there to remember what they've been taught, not to learn. Because honestly speaking, if they even manage to make payments, because each time when there is a construction which is taking place, for them to make a payment, there should be an interim payment certificate which will be issued to the contractor. And it is only issued when the inspection is done by qualified people. The other point is that when the drawings were being done, of course, there should have been a certified, qualified engineer who looked at the drawing and certified to say, this is what is supposed to be done. So to a country, it's such an embarrassment that each time when something is wrong, it has to take a layman to control it. That is what we are complaining, even for and the rest of the people, because the qualified people could not see the problem that was a disgrace to the nation. Until when unqualified people came in and said, this is the problem. So I don't know where we are going to be taken as a country, such that if a new journalist is there, it becomes something difficult for you to identify a problem within the circumference of your work premises. It has to take an individual who doesn't understand to complain. That's when you realize to say, okay, this is what we are supposed to be done. That's a very big embarrassment. Sometimes when such things happen, our request is that can you call back those people who commented over such kind of issues so that they come and clear the audience what they meant by saying that. Because when you leave it like that hanging, it will become a tradition. It will become a tradition that we are going to be following to say, no, they will speak and it will die like that.
Right.
And the other point is that call the Engineers Association of Zambia to come and answer those questions why they allowed that thing to go ahead.
They have
Because
commented
that
already.
money that they are spending is public money, and
Mark.
it is an effect to our salaries. Maybe when they start afresh that bridge to be constructed, us as teachers who have a delay in terms of payment of salary.
Mark.
So
Mark.
we are requesting that we call them back
Hello?
so that they answer those questions. Thank you.
Mark, hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we did, ask that question to the Engineering Institute of Zambia some time back, and they said that they did not have the mandate then to check the work. But now, that is what they are trying to push to become law, that they should be allowed to do, checks before the actual works are done. And that's also the time that they commented to say that they are recommending for a position called Engineer General, which would be, giving them that, authority to do that.
I disagree with that because before I became a government worker, I used to work for a construction company for my house. And each time when you bid, there was a bid towards that bridge.
Yes.
And after a bid, there was a contractor which was picked. And in the bid document, there is a plan which articulates the specifications of that bridge. And when you are given a contract, you are given a certain amount of money to start the work. After that, you to make a claim, there is a team of people who come and inspect the work which has been done.
Are they from EIZ?
Yes, there is a team of people, engineers, who should come and inspect that to certify the type of work. And those people by now, they should be fired. Because in all departments, if that bridge was under works and supply, the interim payment certificate for authorization of that payment was prepared by a team of engineers from underworks. If it was under local government, they should have been engineers from that. So that aspect, though, people certifying for short works should be penalized, because if you go in the health sector, if you operate someone or if you declare someone dead before he's dead, he wakes up, you'll be penalized.
Yes.
You reach an extent of being suspended. Even you as journalists, if you add a certain information which is not certified by it.
Yes. All right, we lost Mark there. I agree with your point to say the engineers that certified the work need to be penalized. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, thank you. You're through to the Sunrise Breakfast Show. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Monga calling from Nakonde.
All right, how is Nakonde today?
Nakonde is raining.
Mm.
Sure.
Please go ahead with your contribution, sir.
Thank you, sir. I just want to comment on the EIZ people.
Sure.
Their mandate, there's nothing like they were waiting for permission to go ahead. It's their mandate, they need to be doing that. Whenever there is a construction on the site, they need to be there. And at the same time, we need to find out where was the engineer who was on the site by the time they were constructing. This is the problem with our Zambian engineers. It's given a contract, instead of being on site, it's busy doing other things which will not bring benefit to the country. So you see all such things. It's a drawback because that money was used to construct that big part of this level where it is now. It's a huge sums of money. And I believe if we demolish it, we are going back, we are starting from square one. The only way that we can invest, we have to demolish it because it's also right threatening. Probably at this certain point in time, and the passing period, they need to collapse. You see? So all those things we need to put them in consideration.
All right.
So I'm just urging our airport engineers, let them going in that step. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that contribution. 09785946682 is the number to call. We're expecting 3 more calls before we close the phone lines and just receive that contribution this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Kotera, how are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you today?
Very great.
Okay, you're a bit faint.
Saying the rest of the team there, good morning to them, Mr. Kausa, Mr. Fury.
Good morning.
Thank you. Mr. Kotera, the issues that you discussed, very, very important issues and very, very sensitive issues as well. And I want to appreciate the contributions that have been made so far. But the issue here, I know Mr. Piri has been able to argue his position, and we respect his right to his opinion. But I think what should be understood by all of us as a nation is the issue that what we have in public domain truly is not the problem, it's just the problem. That is what we need to understand, because we have leaders that have been mandated to run the affairs of the country on behalf of the population.
Yes.
And there are these leaders having their own personal and hidden agendas. You well elaborated on the issues that are going on in the patriotic front. And I think the example that was given by Mr. Kausa saying, if we did a search, allowed ourselves to do a search, we're going to find all these very things that have been now revealed that the so-called barracks of the young man, Kalimanshi,
Yes.
all over the place. This is in public domain. We have the issues of Western Province, where police were in possession of machetes, where these PF cutters were caught red-handed with those things. What did the leadership do? They decided to retire those tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that there is law and order and that the citizens are protected. They were retired in national interest. And here we are busy arguing about a small individual, the name of Kalimanshi, when the minister and the president, they are in charge of the country. So let's get serious about these issues, because if we begin to isolate these issues, even though I agree that, we need to start from somewhere. But again, if we are going to cherry pick under the current system of administration, if we start cherry picking these issues, then we're not solving the problem. We need to take the bull by its horn. Grab the bull by its horn, and here the issue is that the leadership has been selective in the approach of these issues. Those that are favorable to a particular leader, they are left to go scot-free. We've seen that even at the police station. We have the issue of the one young man, JJ, in public domain. Very embarrassing issues. On one hand, he's charged with a particular crime, and the next day it is reduced to this, it is reduced to a little fine. when it is not in their favor, they want to come out and issue these press, briefings. But it's not right. Even though the minister was just responding to a question, I think we should have also looked at it holistically and not just on the issue of Kalimanshi, because the issue is bigger than just Kalimanshi. It's all over the patriotic front, and the leadership is fully aware of this, and they have been endorsing it and backing it by their own actions. And as the people, let's not allow ourselves to be dragged into this mix up and begin to probably maybe take sides and all that. The leadership is at fault here, and let's just call a spade and take the leadership to task, that the leadership has to own up and do what is right for the nation, because whatever is happening has a ripple effect on the nation. See what has been happening there. They're now saying it's the people that were being affected, roads being blocked and so on. But how many other places? We've heard of places like I've heard of this place, but I don't even know where it is called Come. We've heard of those stories so many times. We've heard of that Ladywood parades. I don't know whether it's a UPNG and these things are in public domain. Yet nothing happened. Recently there was, I think, a Sean Tembo issue when he was protesting over the fire tenders, and he made mention of the people that were behind these attacks. What has happened? Especially the leadership of the CS has been abetting criminals and crime in this nation. And they are part to this bigger problem. In fact, they are the problem themselves. So let's just call it as it is. So for me, let's not even think about the push. I think that I'm so concerned about the country because we trusted these men to lead us and provide leadership for the country, provide security for the country, not for the selected few. So thank you so much for allowing me to contribute. I think that for me, I feel so hurt with what is going on, and we are playing hide and seek about it. It's not right.
Reverend, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. All right, the Rev there took all the time that was left. Do make your time to, add your voice to the conversation. Do make time to add your voice to the conversation at 10:30 on the Viewer's Opinion, as well as at 13 hours when we come back for the lunchtime show. Like we promised, we'll have a picture of Kalimanshi just so that we balance, the conversation. Let's have a look at what Innocent Kalimanshi, who apparently is on the run.
mwe bantu ba mchalo chanji Zambia bamaina batata amuninane bankashina bandumi mwe maravas bandi mwe banchi okufumana kati inete ine kabolala one ine futi teini omuntu ushefi akusheshefi abindo kuchalo ine futi umuntu usangwa nefindu fi abindo kuchalo nebo politician ero naba politician iliyo eri ashoto muri mfu wapo mwe bantu ndefu amure ishiba ine panali kwete Paul fiengo futi ero na ile ichinjika ero bantamshe mpati na ichinjika na kalazi bali namoneka kwati nebo karufya nyoro shari randa hapa ni nkula abana bali kula so mfulende kwata time yako ipokolola pafile tizika no kulanda pakuchimwe chalo mwanfu ulubuli ero balelwa ukolwa bukile ku market ofo bale donza na tatwa fish business ya ku market tatwa ishiba we are politician twali kwata office twali pa office epo twali eko bale donza na tatwa fish be twali pa office yonse tsanga pa office kuchitenshi kuchitama ama voters kuti batashani kuba register nokula twala abantu mukuvota enchito yeso so abantu ko balujije olubuti nukumbi and then bakampiongo 4 days ago information kwe bat no ndeba controla mo ndeba chitenshi ya mateine kabulala kuli mwe bantemwa bashima pepo abekala chalo bonse mumfwe palili ashero balifo kupanga polu rufyengo aba yama bakampiongo yama ine kabulala ero you think not pabo yumulando atilimbi na tari tritimbwere kunwa pachinga inenga fane chinga leso mwino wa makayonso ambikira chinga be kuchinga ambike pachinga ambike mukubombera abantu ngamuyimanya panto wa mpele I never be coward panto nshkwetenda la mambe coward nshaka bepo coward panto nshiri ofyo mulimbe coward ndwi mbe perpetrator ndebe po fimbe puti mbe shani mbe coward ifyampela lesamsule shaka bepwefyo ine nkabofo naba ukokwa tsike fyongo mwe bantu bakwaleza abena chawama abena Zambia bonse iliweda shiri hapa media shariko nali pakampu so ngalaba kwata ama etret nangwili ashirimbi ili letitika ukoko bali abene nangwi fya letitika fyabwefyo nete ine kabola la futhi nsango mfintu fyabindwa efona akula never straight person nali basana straight so don't kumbika mfya kumbika I know mukambika but time ikafika mukanaka cause ndiwaka ele like my name I'm innocent na ala kusenda if you are right kuni na nyofona ala kusenda so don't kundamfye shina bakampyongo don't kundamfye shina wonfye ni bino ba police icho mwakwata chief lofe ero abena Zambia abe ngifuthi bachili balekula futhi nali kwata nabana nanye bachili balekula naye mwali kwata abana bachili balekula Zambia sentu isunge muchibote muchinene chishinga Zambia sentu isunge muri love ilengana ali kwata fintu fyandi ninkwata kondefo okufutwala nango kondefo okusupportera kundeka don't kulantinya alonshakatine po namba yandi bengi bakwete iri pa block nishinangu ba posta batumina phone ati inwese nangu nisha batumina phone donze that inwese imomulete pa maplani niwe mwale panga 4 days ago yesi nombati yo mwambia cha ati yo tuleba kontrolamo unkonteramo ne ukabola mwebela Zambia bonso muntu unkoserere ine ikampyongo mwishi if you escape from the ikampyongo wankoserera nakujope kali ngonga bonga sana ikampyongo.
That's the innocent Kalimanshi. Kausa, under a minute as we wind up.
Vantu vamazina ya innocent.
No, but the character is different.
The person is...
Me, I'm just a blunt person.
The person is telling us how blunt he is. He's saying... He's pretty much giving his side of the story, and he's saying, look, I think Kampyongo is after me for whatever reasons. Okay? But he says something that I pick out. What you have is just a position. Just a position. What he's trying to say is, when you are in the reins of power, do the right thing. Posterity will judge you, fairly, well, or bad. Whatever you are doing, wherever you are, just do the right thing. That's all.
Innocent?
Under a minute, I think I'll stand firm to what I've said. Like I told you, I'm not a man that want to say things for the sake of the majority that would want to sympathize with other people. For me, I would maintain to say, I think lawlessness is lawlessness, whether you are part of a problem or you are a problem or you are part of the problem, but a problem should be sorted out. And therefore, for me, I would want someone to tell me, or if the young man really, the police to take this issue very serious, because we might be maybe speaking here, maybe is as innocent as he claims. So the court needs to find out as to what was the purpose of that camp, which is even confessing to say, Nalimu camp ine, what kind of a camp is that? What do they do in that camp? He should tell us. And if at all, you fail to justify to that, then a person who is a problem is liable to punishment. And I'll start there, and I'll say, sorting out problems, we need to begin from somewhere.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. Join us again at 13 hours as we, look at what Bowman has had to say. He's back in the news, and he's back in the news for the wrong reasons. Again. So we're going to be looking at that story at 13 hours, as well as other stories that are making headlines in our beautiful country, Zambia. Thank you very much for your time, and have a beautiful good morning.